Women educators are natural givers, pouring into their students, their families, and communities. But what about pouring into you? This is the Educator Sanctuary, where we help you ditch the guilt and unapologetically put yourself at the top of your list. I'm Dr. Leah, educator, mindset coach, and your guide to creating a life where you align with your purpose and reclaim your power. So if you're ready to set boundaries and step fully into the woman you're meant to be, you're definitely in the right place. Let's get into it. Hey, and welcome back to the Educator Sanctuary. I know it's been a little minute, but I still wanted to pop in and say, Happy New Year! Did you miss me? Because I have most certainly missed you. But the couple of weeks of break that I had was well needed and allowed me to reset so that I can come back for a new season that I am excited to kick off. I am looking back on last year, and I'm honestly so proud of what was accomplished through this podcast last year. On January the 13th, 2025, I released my very first episode of the Educator Sanctuary, completely intimidated. I had no idea how to edit. I didn't know what software to use to even begin. I didn't know how to structure a podcast. I didn't know the cadence of it. I went and did 50 shows once a week, every week, no matter what, because I was like, I don't even know, like, our seasons the whole year? Do people have seasons within the year? I didn't know. So I just went full steam ahead and just was like, hey, we're just doing this. We're showing up. We're helping people. We're expanding people's capacity to become their highest and best selves. Literally, I just put my eyes on the focus of what I wanted the results to be. And honestly, it was really just showing up and helping people get to a better place in their lives. And I was just willing to do that no matter what. And we did it. That said, one of the things that I wanted to focus on this year in this episode is to just start. I didn't know what I didn't know last year. And I cried a lot of times because I was overwhelmed, because I was frustrated, because it was new. And because when things are new, growing pains hurt. They hurt in the gym. They hurt outside of the gym. They hurt. But I learned, I grew. And with the 50 episodes dedicated to being able to help other people get to their best lives now, I also grew in new skills. I grew as a new person, and I learned so much about myself. By the end of 2025, what started out as just a whim, literally a dream that I was awakened by to start a podcast. And I was up at probably 5 o'clock in the morning, naming the show and doing all the little things. What started as a whim has reached listeners in 7 countries. 7 countries: the United States, Japan, the Netherlands, Singapore, United Kingdom, Russia, and Brazil. There were a few more, but these countries have repeat listeners. So I know it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't somebody that stumbled upon the podcast. These people kept listening over and over again and have been included regularly in my numbers. 37 states in the U.S. and hundreds of cities. I did not promote this a ton because most days I was literally like, I have enough to record, and I prayed over it and I let it out into the world. And I just said, God, let it touch the right people at the right place at the right time. I tried doing the whole, like, let me market this, let me post it on every social media. It just wasn't enough time. But I knew that I was doing something good. there were goals. There were goals. There were like, okay, I do want to reach the standard podcast goals of, I want to get to my 50 episodes. I want to get to, my 2,500 downloads. I just went along with the goals, but I didn't stress about how I was going to get there. I did the work. I showed up. I took the action, and then I let the how be guided by something bigger than me. The podcast touched people. It touched me. It touched you. And it is proof that showing up consistently matters, even when the steps are scary. Just start. This year, I will not be solo. Another thing that I'm just starting, guest speakers. I will be bringing in amazing women and specialists that have knowledge and insights to share so that you can walk away with something to apply to your own life every single time. Now, I think that you were able to do that last year, but I know that knowledge is deeper than me and this world is bigger than me. And I want to be able to share this platform with as many amazing women out there possible. Because more than anything, this season is going to be about expansion. Your expansion, my expansion, and just the expansion that happens overall when we lean in, take action, and support each other in our journeys. Speaking of journey, every year for New Year's Day, right when it comes in, 12 o'clock, we celebrate, we pray, and then we burst balloons, of which I just find random words that come into my, intuition, and I write them down, I put them in balloons, I blow them up, and we don't know what word is in what balloon. We let our inner selves guide us to the balloons of the words that we need most. And last year, all of my words played out very well. In a lot of ways, I have learned that you need to give the words intention and not have in your mind an expectation of the words, because they would most certainly be played out in a different way. But one of the words that I did have last year was community. And I'm just overwhelmed in gratefulness and joy about how that word community played out for me last year. 2025 was such a year of unexpected adventures, to say the least. But in that, it was like God was showing me that He has placed me in the right place, and then I need to trust in the place that He has me. If you don't know, if this is your first time, I moved about 1,200 miles away from where I grew up, in a city where I am having to step out of my comfort zone and build that community. Thankfully, it has been quite effortless. When I pray, God, keep me in the right place at the right time to meet the right people, He has definitely done that in my life. And even though some of the situations I would not have said that they were the most ideal, they basically gave me the evidence that if I never thought I had anybody in life, God said, you don't have to worry or wonder where your help is going to come from. I am going to send it. I am going to provide for you. I am going to support you. You are going to have a community of people. And not only did I end the year having community, but I started the year for an entire week depending on my community, because I wasn't feeling well. And I'm like, wow, I'm a single mom. I don't have any help. And I didn't even have to really ask for help. People offered the help. I went an entire week being able to simply just care for me, and my community showed up for every single thing that my daughter needed or that I might have needed even for myself. And I'm just so very blessed. Even within the last couple of days, my birthday is early in the year. I just had a birthday, and just people that I normally don't hear from, not only did they reach out to me, but there were tons of gifts for me at my door. of people sending me things. And I'm like, gosh, I'm so cared for. I'm so loved. And there was a time when I used to cry about nobody cares about me. I'm just always doing stuff for everybody else and no one shows up for me. And this was a year where God has shown me, you are seen, my daughter. You are loved, my daughter. You are supported, my daughter. And I'm just so happy and grateful that I have a community of people. Some of them I didn't even know this time last year, but they were placed in my life during the year. And I'm so eternally grateful for that. And so then moving into 2026, my new words is more aligned with, the prosperity and the abundance side of things. So last year was like growth and support, community, love, things like that. And this year is more like, okay, abundance, prosperity, like, yay, the fun stuff. So I'm really excited about the year ahead for you, for me, and for anybody else who has not yet heard of this podcast, but will hear it this year. I want to talk about just start and tying into the whole, like, give intentions to your words or your goals or your dreams or your visions. Have you set your goals for 2026? I have talked to a couple people and like, hey, have you created your vision board? You have your goals? And they're like, no, I haven't done anything. And I want to say that if you do not have a direction, then you really can't expect to end up anywhere. So it's just like getting in your car and driving and you're just driving. If you haven't set a destination, then where really are you hoping that you end up? You're just kind of like out there. And so if you have not made a vision board or journal down goals, or something new that I saw was people making tic-tac-toe boards. And that way it gives you less things to really think about. But so tic-tac-toe board has 9 squares. So there's 9 things that you would like to do. You don't have to try to do all of them. But obviously with the goal of tic-tac-toe is if you do 2 of them, right, and use your free space, then, or you can do 3 in a different way. But it's like, I have 9 things that I really would love to come into fruition. But if I can get 2 or 3 of them, I've moved the needle in my life. And that way you're not discouraged mid-year trying to do the 50 things that you put on your vision board. You just focus on a couple of things. And so if you haven't done it yet, it's still time. It's still time. We are still early in the month, halfway through. So go ahead and get that done. This year, though, for me, instead of making a traditional vision board, I wanted to focus on the skills that I want to grow. So like if I want to take my podcast to 1 million downloads, what are the skills do I need to be able to market this podcast to reach the number of people that's going to get the 1 million downloads? Also, if I wanted to expand my school into multiple locations or have a thriving online academy, where do I need to grow? Who do I need to connect with? What do I need to learn? So for me, I'm focusing on, yes, I do have the vision board. I'm always going to have one because I'm a visual person. I like to kind of see it. I stand in front of my vision board and I thank God for those things on the vision board. One of the things this year being the car that I want. Okay. We're getting a new car in 2026. And I hope that the market rates drop so that it's affordable to do. But I stand in front of my vision board and I just thank God for all of the things that I see before I even get them, because that's how we get them. But I want to focus on the skills that I need, because I heard someone say a long time ago, and I cannot forget it. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is simply knowledge. Because if you had the knowledge, you would be there. Okay. So if I'm not there, what are those skills and what is the knowledge and what is the resources that I need to be able to get me from where I am now to where exactly I want to be? So I really want you to think about that, right? So going into this year, not just intentional about what it is you want, but intentional about the growth that you're going to need inside of you to be able to hold the dreams and visions that you have. And one of the things that I came out of 2025 into 2026, I talked about the community part. It's what resources do I need and who do I need to connect with? And I think that's very big, because I also heard one day someone say, if the dreams and goals and visions you have are attainable with just you, then it also means that your dreams and goals and visions that you have are not big enough, because God-sized dreams require God-sized communities of people to fulfill these things. And so that is what I'm looking for now. It's like the God-sized community, the helpers, the people that's going to come in and take a lot of things off of my plate so that I can carry out the vision, because I have people that can execute. And so I'm so grateful for the people that are coming. And I also want you to think about what are those skills and things that you need in order to move from point A to point B. So that is the homework. If this is your first time listening to the Educator Sanctuary, I always say, what kind of educator would I be if I didn't give homework? And so the homework is, 1, set the vision and make it plain if you have not already. But 2, while we don't need to worry about the how, we do need to think about the skills and the resources and the connections that we need to make in order for us to bring our dreams into fruition. So that's my homework, but that's also your homework too, because your life cannot move forward without direction, and goals are not just dreams. They are the steps that we actually take to reach them. So here's to starting 2026, even if it's messy, okay, and not well put together. Here's to starting growth, even if it's uncomfortable. Here's to a new year, a new season, and new opportunities to become who we are all meant to be. I am so glad you are here. And my hope for you this year is that you just start. Before you go, if you have enjoyed this podcast and you want to keep the Educator Sanctuary around and thriving, you can do that. So this year we now have listener support. So in the show notes, you can click over to the website and we now have listener support where you can contribute as little as $3 a month. And of course, your support just kind of helps this show continue to grow and thrive. We can share more stories, we can reach more people, and we can expand our impact together. And even more than that, to keep the show going strong, please feel free to share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, or just share it because you don't know who needs it, and someone will be grateful that you did. Check the show notes for all the resources. Follow us on social media channels. So we are on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at the Educator Sanctuary. And again, if you can, support the podcast page. Every little bit helps us grow and reach even more women who need to hear this message. As always, I cannot wait to see you back here again next week. We have started this year strong, and it's just going to be momentum all the way through. I cannot wait to see what you do this year, what amazing moments you have, and what astonishing accomplishments you make. Talk soon. Thank you for joining me in the Educator Sanctuary, where we create a space for women educators to reclaim their power and prioritize themselves unapologetically. If you've loved what you've heard, please do not forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with other amazing women who need to hear this message. Until next time, remember, you are capable, you are powerful, and you are absolutely worthy. You've got this. Talk soon.